Hi, Warren. I wanted to leave you some feedback on Essay 2. I think that there are some good ideas present in this essay. I like some of your points from your personal examples, particularly your relationship with your father and how you feel like how he supported your learning and taught you from some real world experiences. There are some things that I want to talk to you about for revision. You start off with this idea of there are several book definitions of education, but we don't quite get them. So to make these ideas feel related, I think it's important to follow that with those definitions. And then I think that this is a brand new idea, so I would make this a new paragraph. And I think that the idea that you can be educated by work is another idea. So there's some good ideas here, but they're not quite connecting together yet. So I would either think about how you can more clearly connect these ideas or treat them as separate paragraphs. You're building towards a thesis, but I don't yet see a thesis yet. And I think that's why individually these paragraphs are okay, but this doesn't read like a cohesive argumentative essay where you are building a line of argument. So you say education can be something as small as learning how to make coffee or as big as learning how to operate and perform maintenance. And then you say it's not limited to just schooling. So really, what is it then, right? So this doesn't quite feel like a definition because you're just kind of describing here, you're not defining. And you say it's not limited to just schooling. And so a thesis never says what something isn't, it says what something is. So it feels like you're building towards an argument, but you just haven't stated it yet. So remember what we talked about in class. Really, the best way to try to define something is to put it into a specific category and then argue how that thing fits in that category, right? So a previous student put education in the category of creative thinking, and so they defined what creative thinking is and then gave examples of how activities outside of the classroom are creative thinking, whereas other examples of classroom activities were not necessarily creative. So it feels like you're missing your thesis here. I think if you identified that, you'd be able to more clearly connect these paragraphs together. Because like I said before, they read all right on the individual level, but they don't quite connect together yet. Second, you need to make sure that you are fully summarizing your sources. So remember what we talked about in our first unit. You need to create a signal phrase anytime you bring a source into your paper for the first time, which means that you need to state the author's full name and the article title. And then you need to objectively capture the overarching argument. I'm not sure Gatto ever says this line right here. I don't recall him saying that argument. I think he says something very different. And in fact, I think that Gatto actually says in his text that students should take literature and they should take art classes and art history classes. He actually thinks that this is very important. So what you want to do when you bring sources into your text is, number one, you need to create a signal phrase. Number two, you need to objectively capture the main idea first. You need to write a summary, and then you can start bringing in the minor points that support your idea. However, you need to make sure that the ideas that you're bringing in are actually true to what the text is saying, because Gatto would actually advocate for the opposite here. Make sure you do the same things with these other writers as well. You want to make sure that you are fully integrating your signal phrases and capturing those overarching main ideas. So you end with kind of a summary of the argument, but we don't have a call to action or some kind of implication. So you need to move it beyond the summary. You're also missing your works cited page, so you want to make sure that you get that. But primarily, I'd say that the biggest thing you need to work on is getting a clear thesis in here, and then thinking about how these paragraphs are actually working to support the thesis. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.